when you're laying out your goals for this coming period of time, whether it be the next month or even for the next quarter or even for the next year, how do we set those goals? How do we write out a goal and then be able to follow that goal and reach the goal by the end of that time period? And that's what we're going to cover in this video right now. Goal setting is not really that hard. It's just knowing where your company's at this particular moment, where you are at this particular moment, and where you want to bring your company or bring yourself to in the next month, quarter, half a year, or even a year from now. Where do you want to end up at the end of the goal? And is where you want to end up at something that really excites you? And you know you're going to be ready to celebrate when you reach your goal. So this is why everyone talks about SMART goals, the acronym of SMART, S.M.A.R.T.E.R. But SMART goals, the way they have been set in the past, sometimes we set low expectations with those goals just in order to reach a goal. The better way to set a goal is probably with a little bit longer acronym, and that's called S.M.A.R.T.E.R. goals, S.M.A.R.T.E.R. It's similar, but yet it looks at maybe pushing your comfort zone a little bit out to reach a little bit higher goals than what you would normally do under the older system called SMART goals. First of all, S stands for specific goals. Just like it did in the SMART goals, it does in SMART-ER goals. Specific goals. What are you trying to reach in a certain amount of time? What is that goal? Specifically stated. You don't want a vague goal. You want a specific goal in mind. An example of a specific goal would be we want to increase by 2 new clients each month this coming year. That would be bringing to the end of the year 24 new clients. That is a very specific goal that you're setting for your company. One for yourself may be, I'm going to read a business book every month. So by the end of the year, you have 12 business books that you have read. Those are goals, very specific goals. The next part of goal setting, just like it was in the older SMART goals, is M, which stands for measurable. So if you were going to have 2 new clients every month, that's very measurable. If you don't have 2, well, you didn't reach your goal for the month. If you get 3, then you exceeded your goal for the month, which is great. You get going a little bit ahead of schedule. The same thing if it's with yourself to read 1 new business book every month. That's very measurable to know that you have read a business book each and every month of the year, making it a total of 12 by the end of the year. In the SMART acronym, A stood for achievable. This is the problem with the older goal, is that achievable means you're going to set a goal maybe a little bit lower because you know you can achieve it. But in the new acronym, SMART-ER, A stands for attainable. This is something that you can attain, that you are reaching for. You're going to attain that. So it sets your goal a little bit higher than you probably would under the SMART goal system. So attainable goal. What would be attainable? You know, this year maybe you've only gotten 1 new client every month, 12 new clients throughout this year. But next year you're trying to reach 2 new clients every month. So is that attainable? Yes. And how do you get there? Is by working a little bit harder, going out and meeting more people, spreading the word more so about your company. That's how you get 2. So it's almost like getting 10, 20% more work than you did last year to get 2 versus 1 new client. Is that attainable? Do you have the time? If you do, then the goal is attainable. In the old acronym SMART, R stood for realistic. And just like it did for the letter A, it kind of lowered your expectation, so you lowered your goal down to make sure it was realistic, that you could realistically reach it by the end of the year. In the SMART-ER acronym, R stands for risky. In other words, it's going to be hard to reach this goal, but if I can make it, boy, that's going to make some definite changes to what I'm doing, either to my own personal self or to my company. Reaching this risky goal may actually grow my company more than I ever imagined it would, and that's why it's risky to get to it. If I don't make this goal, well, my company won't grow as much as I anticipated it to. That's a risky goal. Another reason for having a risky goal versus a realistic goal or a relevant goal is because the reason realistic and relevant, those are lower standard goals. They're not as high. They don't push your boundaries as much, and so they're not as exciting goals. And they're probably what you normally do in business or personal growth anyway. A risky goal, on the other hand, it forces you to work harder. It forces you to look further beyond. It makes you go to a higher bar, always pushing that bar higher and higher, risking it a little bit more each time. So risky goals will grow you faster than relevant or realistic goals will. The fifth element of the S.M.A.R.T.E.R acronym is time-based, and it's just like it was in the S.M.A.R.T.E acronym. Time-based meaning that it has a period of time that you're going to be working on reaching this goal, and by the end of this time period, you plan to have reached your goal. Now that could be in the next week, next month, next quarter, next half year, next year. So it depends on whatever the timeline is. That is a length of time to reach that goal. Should all your goals for the next year or next period of time, should that be all 1 year goals? No. Okay. So many of your goals, you should try to complete 2 or 3 goals every quarter at least, or every month. You should try to get 1 goal out of the way. 1 or 2 goals, always getting a little bit of success. And then that helps you to reach the big goals that you have by the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, you're going to set 9 different goals. Each quarter, you try to complete 2 or 3 of those goals. So by the end of the year, you have completed all 7 or 9 goals that you have either for your business or for yourself or even for both. But always try to get some goals completed every quarter, making it easier to reach the overall goals that you may have by the end of the year. In this video, I know you're getting a lot of value at what we're talking about. In all of our videos, hopefully you're getting a lot of value out of them. What we would like for you to do is go down below, right down there, and hit the like button. And that lets us know that we're doing a good job. We're putting out the kind of videos that you want to see. And, well, we're going to put out even more videos and everything you can ever think about on the business of engineering. We want you to tell us also, leave comments down below, and what else you would like to see from us, what else you would like for us to make videos on. Also, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way you'll know when we're coming up with new videos. Hit that bell down there, and every time we upload a new video, you'll be notified, and it's something to look forward to see the new videos that we come out with on Engineering Management channel here on YouTube. The 6th acronym of S.M.A.R.T.E.R goals is to make them exciting, something that pushes you further than you've ever been before, to go beyond and get an extra higher leap out there, to push your boundaries further and further. So they're exciting. And so like maybe it may be running a half marathon by the end of the year. Well, right now you don't run at all. So you can't go out there next week and run a half marathon. That's not going to happen. Well, let's say for 99% of us, it's not going to happen. So each week you're going to have to do like maybe a quarter of a mile. You run, and then you increase about another quarter of a mile the next week, and another quarter and another quarter. Each week you're adding on, and eventually you build up that 13.5-mile run that you plan to do by the end of the year. That's setting a very high goal. It's also a very exciting goal, because when you run a half marathon, That's a big accomplishment. I've ran in several half marathons, and it was always exciting, but I didn't run half marathons all throughout the year. I usually ran a lot shorter, like 1 mile, 2 mile runs that I began with in the early part of the year. And then by the latter part of the year, even leading up to the half marathon, I was only maybe running 6 or 8 miles every couple of days to get myself up to the speed and the endurance to run those long races like that. And I have ran, like I said, in several half marathons, 13 and a half miles. It's a long ways, but boy, it felt good when we finished it. And that's why it was exciting. It was exciting to reach those goals. And I'm sure people who run even longer distance, the full marathons and the Ironman runs, those are big accomplishments, but they take a long time to work up to them to reach those goals. So that's why you want your goals to be exciting, something that is memorable and something that is going to be talked about for a long time. Which leads to the last part of the acronym, and that is the R. I believe in the reward word for it. When you achieve your goals, make sure that you reward yourself, and even if they're small, if you set a goal for today, or you set a goal for the week, or if you set a goal for the month or quarter, half year, full year, you should set a set of goals, reach them, and once you do so, reward yourself a little bit. Maybe some of the shorter little goals, the reward could be just a slap on the back. But one that took all year to accomplish, I would probably go out and have a little celebration, and probably go out to one of my favorite restaurants and bring out my family and have a happy meal together. So, or something else. You may want to take a trip afterwards. If our company reaches the 12 new clients that we anticipated by the end of the year, or 24 new clients at the end of the year, I'm going to take the whole office out and we're going to have a dinner together. Or I'm going to take all the engineers out on a weekend trip nearby for a Christmas holiday. Whatever it is, have a reward if you know that's comparable to the length of time or the difficulty of reaching that goal. And when you do that, when you set the next set of goals, you're going to be more willing to do them, and because you know there's probably a reward at the end of the rainbow. So that's the acronym S.M.A.R.T.E.R. And it's not like SMART. It's a little bit like it, but it goes a little bit further because it helps you set your goals higher than you normally would, and then also to keep you excited and going towards that goal and reaching it by the end of the year or end of that time period. S.M.A.R.T.E.R goals. Every engineer, everybody should be setting those every month, every day, especially at the end of the year, preparing for the new year. Before we go, make sure you go down below and subscribe to our channel. Also, you notice over to the side there's more videos that you can look at that relates to this video and also our channel on engineering management. So keep on growing your engineering skills, keep on growing your management skills, and become the best engineer that you can. See you on the next video.